Collaborators. Welcome to Share It Saturday. This year-long collaboration is hosted by Scrappy Tate here on YouTube, and it includes myself, Paulette, who's Scrappy Tate, Ebony, who is Sharing More, Robin, who is Crafts I Heart, Chandra, who is Stockton Stuff, and Lisa, who is UC I'm a Diva. And I will link all of their channels, super talented ladies, in the description of the box below. And the purpose of this, it's going to be the second Saturday of each month, and the purpose of this collaboration is to show you how to use specific features of your cutting machines, or whatever machines you have, whether it be a Silhouette or a Cricut or a Brothers Scan and Cut, or whatever you have. Whatever each designer has, that's what they will be using to showcase some of the things, some of the features of the machine to help you get more use out of your machine in 2021. Now, having said that, I have the Cricut Maker and the Explorer Air. I am not a super duper expert by any means, but what I hope to accomplish over the course of this year, every second Saturday of the month at 10 a.m., is to share with you some of the ways I use the equipment and how I incorporate other crafty things that I do into the use of the equipment. And maybe I'll teach you something you haven't seen before, or a different way of something, how to do something differently that you've seen before. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to go on this journey together. There are things that I haven't done with the machine yet that I'd like to try, and I'd like to bring you along with me. I am an all-in person. So when I bought the Maker, I bought everything. I bought all the tools. I have every single tool, including the newest Cricut foil tool. And so there are some tools I haven't used yet. The perforated blade, the wavy blade. So I will be going hopefully through those blades with you and finding creative ways for you to use them. Because if you are on Cricut Design Space, there are not a lot of projects for those tools. And so let's find some creative ways to use them. But for this first installment of Share It Saturday, I'm going to show you one of the basic ways I use my Maker, and that's to print and cut. And I use both print and cut regular vinyl and print and cut HTV. Today's project is going to involve print and cut HTV, which means you can iron on print and cut to whatever design you're on. And I make bags. I love altering bags. It's just like using basically a printable vinyl. So that's what we're going to do for this Saturday. We're going to use these bags. I get these bags both on Aliexpress and Amazon. And if I can find them on Aliexpress, I will link them below. And I will link the link to the place that I get them from on Amazon. And there are tons of printable HTV out there in the world. Sizer makes one. Just tons. If you go on Amazon and type that in, you'll find. But this is my favorite. It's PPD transfer paper. To me, and I always use, there's a light for light work projects, for light materials, and for dark materials. I always use the dark material. It's easier to use. It works on everything, and it's just simpler to me. That's just my opinion, and that's what we're going to go with. So I use this PPD inkjet transfer paper. Now you have to have an inkjet. I have a laser and an inkjet printer, but you really need an inkjet for this project to work properly, so you don't get any smearing or any of those other things. And so we're just going to do a basic bag today, a simple project. I have to make some bags anyway for a friend. She has her own jewelry business, and I make her bags where she puts all her finished product in. So we're going to do that together today. So I'm going to turn this over now to Cricut Design Space. We're going to take a look at how I bring in my images. Again, it's digital images. We all know how much I love digital images, so you're going to be seeing a lot of that in this project over the course of the year. But we're going to pull in a digital project. I'm going to show you how I square it up to make sure that I got it right on the bag. And then I'm going to show you how I transfer it to the bag. Now, this is my first time with these multiple avenues of videotaping. So you're going to have to bear with me and forgive me in advance of any faux pas that I make here. So let's get started. All right, everyone, we are back in Cricut Design Space. This is your home screen when you come into Design Space. And I am going to start a new project. Okay, so we're going to be doing the bags that I showed you earlier, and so I'm going to need to start out with a shape. And I'm going to go up here to my lock proportions, unlock the sizing, and make my bag make my square the size of my bags, which are hold on, 5.9 by 7.5. Actually, that's the entire bag, but I want the design to come just below the drawstring. So I'm going to make this 5.5 by 7.25. That should be good. And I'm going to make this a lighter shade of gray just for reference because that's the color of my bag. And now I need to upload a digital image. So I'm going to go here and click Upload, Upload Image. And I'm going to go to this image saved on my laptop. It's from a company called Coco Twins. She has a website and an Etsy store, and I will try to link it down below. And I'm going to insert this image here. I'm just going to make it complex. I'm going to just save it. And I always put the name of the vendor so I can search by vendor in Design Space and hit save. And I'm going to just add her to my canvas. She came in really big. They always do in PNG. So I'm going to just downsize her a little bit so she will fit on my bag. Looking good. Want to make her a little wider without distorting anything. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm going to click on text. I'm going to add my friend's business name. All right, and that's really huge, so we're going to bring that down some. And what you need to remember, this really is for cursive writing, is that when you bring it into Design Space, you really should do some line spacing by clicking this, some letter spacing by clicking this button to bring the letters a little closer together. And it's called kerning, I think, in Silhouette Studio. So some of you might be familiar with that. And so I'm going to just do that. So that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to move her over just 1 second and insert another image. And I'm doing that because I don't like to waste paper. This dark transfer paper, it's not expensive, but it's not cheap either. So I want to just get all the bang for my buck that I can. So I usually print 2 images at a time. So I'm just going to go in here and print, upload another image. It's already in my Design Space. I'm going to mark her down again. Oops, accidentally brought in 2 images. Didn't mean to do that. Going to size her up where she fits on the bag. Excellent. Now I'm going to hide my square so I can save that for later, so I can use that later. I'm going to click Make It so I can see what it looks like on the canvas. And this is perfect. So I'm going to go to Next. And this, again, as I told you before, is Inkjet paper. So we're going to choose my Inkjet printer. And I always turn on system dialog here and keep my bleed so that I'll have a border around my images. And system dialog is basically your printer's dialog settings. So when you click print, the printer dialog will come up so that you can modify any settings that you need to modify. And so it came up, so I'm going to click preferences here. And I'm just going to make this my best quality. I want the best quality printing for this. And we're going to print this, and then I'll come back and show you how it's loaded onto the mat. Okay, I'm back really quickly to show you what setting you need to set for the machine. So here is Printable Iron On Dark. That's the setting I always use. And it's telling me to load in my fine point blade, which is just a regular blade that comes with your machine. And then now I can load my mat. So hey guys, I've loaded my mat, and I'm sorry about the shaking. I haven't figured out yet, well, I don't have a proper tripod yet to move to various stages in my craft room, so we're just going to do this by hand. So until we can figure out a better solution here, we're just going to roll with it. So here is the mat. See how clean and crisp that printed out? Really pretty. I would let it sit for like 2 minutes or so just to let the ink dry before it goes through your machine. Just to make sure that when the Cricut is reading the black border around your images, it doesn't smear. That has happened to me before, but it's just because I'm impatient and didn't let it sit for a second. You only have to let it sit for a minute or so, and then you can run it through the machine. So without getting you seasick, I'm gonna move my camera now manually over to the machine so you can see me load it into the machine. So we're going to load it into the machine, and we're going to hit the go button, well, the load button, and now we're going to hit the go button. It's going to read the registration marks on your machine to make sure it knows exactly where to cut the images. And when it starts to cut, I'm going to break away and then come back to you when we get ready to put it on our bags. Because I don't want you to have to sit through the actual cutting. Unless you want to. You can leave me a message in the description box to let me know if going forward you actually want to sit through this cutting process. So we will be back in a moment. Okay, so now that we've printed our printable images, we're going to go now and print the vinyl. So I'm going to click edit here, and I'm going to move this just because, again, I'm saving vinyl. I'm going to scroll down here. It's HTV vinyl, so I need to mirror my image. I'm going to click done. I'm going to change my material base setting to heat transfer, and I'm choosing heat transfer non-Cricut because this is not Cricut vinyl that I'm using, but it doesn't really matter if you just choose heat transfer vinyl or Cricut heat transfer vinyl. And then you make sure that you're mirrored on, and then your iron material is faced shiny side down. I have done this many times in error, so please read that. Mirror your image shiny side down, and then you just put your materials in and you print. So I'm going to go ahead and print out our vinyl, and then I'm going to meet you at the press table. Okay, I'm back, and we're at our mat, and I have my bag. As you can see, I changed my mind midstream here and decided to go with black for this bag. And so I've inserted a Teflon sheet just to protect the inside of my bag because it is kind of thin. And then you also want to piece a parchment paper or butcher paper, and actually a couple of sheets come with the brand that I showed you earlier for the transfer paper. So it comes with it, and you can use it over and over again. And so I left my images on my sheet so that you could see how I peel them away. And basically, I just grab a corner. I found it easier just to grab a corner and pull. And as you can see, it just pulls the excess vinyl away from my image. And then I'm going to use well, I can't find my weeding tool, but I'm just going to use my fingers and pull up the center, because that is actually a cutaway. So I'm going to pull that away and then pull this away. And then with this, you don't need transfer tape with this. Well, I don't use transfer tape with this. There are some images where you can. There's a heat masking tape that you can buy that's separate from regular heat transfer tape. I have some of it. I can't find it at the moment, so I'm just going to pull it away and use my fingers for this. We're just going to use our good old-fashioned fingers. And so she just pulls away from the paper, and then we're just going to lay her on the paper. Oh, look, she is a lot smaller than I thought she was. So she does fit on this bag. Hold on. I changed bags because I thought she wasn't going to fit, but because I did sizing, or I should trust my sizing. Trust your sizing. It just didn't look right when I printed it out, but it's fine. So we're just going to change bags real quick here. I'm going to slip my Teflon thing in here. Just so I've used before without Teflon, and the bag fused together. Not a good look. So now, because we're using printable vinyl and regular vinyl, you're going to have to print this twice. You're going to have to heat press this twice. And just a second, sidebar here, I'm going to just snip away some of this white space that did not come away from the image. Great, I'm making mistakes. So you can do as I say and not as I do. Oh, I'm so terrible at these tutorials. So we're going to just snip the ends away. Really quickly. Hope everyone's doing well. Okay, I'm just going to put that in the trash really quick. So the printable vinyl, as I mentioned with the heat guide, is set at 340 for 30 seconds. So I'm not going to do the whole 30 seconds because I'm going to have to come back with my regular vinyl. So I'm just going to leave it on here long enough for it to stick, and then I'm going to lift it up and change the setting. So we're just going to press down for a few seconds just so it will fuse to the bag. And I'm going to lift. Good. Okay, so now I'm going to take my temperature down to 315 because that's what the temperature is for the regular vinyl. And so we're just going to line this up. On the bag, like so. And I'm going to cover it all with the butcher paper. And give my, I'm going to give my Easy Press a minute to go down to the proper temperature. And I'm doing this the proper way because I want you all to know how I've learned how to do it. But I usually take shortcuts. I just usually heat press everything on one temperature. But I've gone through a couple of bags with that. So I'm telling you, this is the way that it should be done according to all the YouTube experts. But I have gone ahead and heat pressed both items at the same time before on one setting, and it was fine. But it doesn't always turn out. So just we're showing you the proper way to do stuff so that when you try this at home, you won't have, the same experiences that I had. But like I said, when I make several of these for her at a time, so I usually just choose a happy medium like 325 or 330 and print and heat both bag and vinyl at the same time, and it comes out fine usually. So just want to throw that out there. But this is the proper way to do it. 5 seconds on the high temp, and then lower the temp and put down your vinyl, and then heat the whole thing for the full 30 seconds. That's what the experts say to do, but like I said, I take shortcuts. So, ding ding, we're ready. So I'm going to put this down, hit my button, medium pressure, just hold it down until we tick away. Ding ding dong, ding 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 dong, ding ding dong, ding 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 dong. Just trying to fill the silence. Sorry. I'm a little silly. Okay, so, and we're done. So we're gonna pull this away. Look how pretty she is. And I didn't burn the bag because you can see her full image. Isn't that awesome? So I'm going to let that cool a little bit and wait until that cools a little bit to peel that away. So while that's doing that, I'm going to grab another bag. Sorry, I should have been more prepared. And we're going to pull out my Teflon folder, put her aside, stick the Teflon back in. Be careful because the Teflon is a little hot. And we're going to put my new other girl on. Like so. Lovely. I'm going to take my temperature up just a little bit. I'm going to do the cheater's method and split the difference at 330. And I'm going to heat press everything at once. So if it turns out poured badly, you'll see what I mean. If not, yay. I'm going to put the butcher paper back over. We don't need that anymore, so we can throw that out. And we're ready. 30 seconds. Medium pressure. Ding, ding, dong, ding, 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 dong, ding, ding, dong. Okay, I'll stop. So I hope this was something that you guys are interested in. Let me know. And let me know in the comments below if you, there we go. If you have something that you'd like to know about your Cricut, and I can maybe show you in an upcoming month. So we're going to let her dry or cool. So she's cool to the touch. So we're just going to pull it away. Yay! So there we go. So we got a little holographic vinyl there, which I think on future bags I'm just going to use black because I'm not crazy about that. But just for demonstration purposes only. There's a little Cricut too. She won't get this bag. But look at that. Isn't that cute? And you can just do the image. Sometimes I just do the image on there. Wow, you really can't see that, can you? Can y'all see that? The L was a little crooked, but the image came out great, which is the main thing I wanted to show you. So that is how you use printable HTV. And now this is a little cool, so we'll pull that away. Yay! That came out perfect. So, that's how you use printable HTV, my version. I'm sure there are other people out there who have other tricks of the trade, but that's how I do it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said below, this is going to be every second Saturday of the month. Please go check out the other collaborators. I'm sure they're going to have wonderful projects and tips for you, so please be sure to check out everyone. And leave me a comment below if you like this video, and if you have something specific that you are curious about with the maker, that you would like me to investigate for you, and we'll try to do that in a future month. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking and clicking and being just all around great people. And I will check you out in the next crafty video. Bye for now.